of Galilee. And Mary said, whatever he says, just do it. Doing it put them in the place of overflow. When we were, in the midst of the wilderness there, and 5,000 were growing hungry, Jesus said, give me what you have. And they gave him 2 fish and 5 barley loaves. Being obedient will get you into overflow. Yes, with less than just over 2 minutes left in the game, the Steelers versus the Ravens, the quarterback called the play. If the wide receivers had run their own way, the Steelers would not have won the game. But because they were obedient to the quarterback, the Steelers are just 1 game away from Super Bowl 45. And I've come to say to somebody in here, just do what God says. Just do what he tells you and me to do. For obedience is better than sacrifice. Is there anybody in here who's poised to do what he says? Who wants to walk into overflow? Who wants to be blessed into the midst of a brand new season? Here they place the net on the right side, and the right side becomes the right side. Somebody said the right becomes right. Yes, it's direction and it's perfection. It's the right side, but it's also the right side. It's right because Jesus said do it, but it's the right side because he put it on the right side. And I can imagine that the right side, yes, was what they did to gain the overflow. But then with this overflow, they experienced a revelation. For they saw, they knew from their experience, the last time we went through this, Jesus was the one that blessed us. And this time, it must be the same one that blessed us before. And I'm closing by suggesting to you that the same Lord that blessed you in 2010 is the same one that's going to give you overflow in 2011. The same one that helped heal your body last year, that put food on your table, clothes on your back, a roof over your head, let you stand in dignity, let you walk over your enemies. The same one that helped you keep your mind together when you thought you were going to go Fruit Loops. The same one that helped you through the tragedies and the scarecrows and the nightmares of your past is the same one that'll take you through right now. Jesus is the same Lord yesterday, today, and tomorrow. But wait a minute, brothers and sisters. I pause to remind you that there's something peculiar about this description. Please note that the writer John is peculiarly particular in the details of this experience. He says that they launched out a couple farthings, which is about 300 feet. That is specific. God help me. He says that 7 disciples got in one boat. God help me. He says Simon Peter, Thomas, Andrew, the sons of Zebedee, yes, and 2 other unnamed disciples. But this is a season of perfecting. He says they fished all night, but they caught, say it with me, 0. So you got 300 feet, 7 disciples, 0 fish in the midst of the Sea of Galilee. And there, as they're out there for hours on end, from one day to the next, the word says that when they caught the fish, God help me, that in the 11th verse of chapter 21, they caught 153 large fish. Well, brothers and sisters, I'm going somewhere. Somebody must have seen what was taking place in order to have such specificity, such clarity, God help me, and such, yes, acuity in terms of everything that has happened. And what God wanted me to relay to you is, it is the same thing that happened last night. And here the cornerback number 84 through to the wide receiver number 7. Yes, and from my mathematical computation, 7 times